We did it. We've reached the end of 2020. And what did we spend a lot of time doing during the year of our Lord and Savior, 2020?
Oh, Lord. We watched a lot of movies.
A lot of movies. And some shows. So, a couple disclaimers before we begin. You obviously know what this is, our best and worst of 2020. Now, these aren't all the films that came out in 2020. These are just the movies or shows that we watched for the first time in 2020, so new to us, not necessarily new to the year. Additionally, just because something ends up on our best list doesn't mean it's like the objectively best film ever, it just means we loved it. And if something ends up on our worst list, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's terrible, it just means we really didn't like it for some reason or another. If you're someone who makes movies, you are well aware how hard it is to get a film made. So even if a movie's on our worst list, we still have the utmost respect for the people behind it who are able to breathe reality into that concept. So, really quickly, I'm just gonna read off our list of honorable mentions. These were movies we really enjoyed but didn't quite make our top 10 categories. Mandy, After Midnight, In a Valley of Violence, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Deathgasm, John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, Hell House LLC, Lake of Fire, Fighting with My Family, Frozen 2, and The Hidden. Favorite films or shows we saw this year?
Our 10th favorite, we have, it looks like, 5.
A 5-way tie.
Yeah. Trick or Treat Anthology from 2007. Live from the Space Stage, a Halleck Story documentary. Hell House LLC, Rear Window, and Tigers Are Not Afraid.
Of those 5, which do you think was your favorite in the 10th category?
I guess maybe Rear Window. It's understandable why it's a classic. Yeah, it's just classy.
9th favorite, Deep Red by Dario Argento. If you like Giallo, you're probably gonna like this. Didn't know what to expect? Absolutely loved it. Beautiful movie, fun to watch, totally recommend it.
Our 8th favorite, Kubo and the Two Strings and The Ritual.
Similar films.
Yeah, very different films.
So which one did you like the most out of between the two?
Probably Kubo and the Two Strings. Kubo and the Two Strings was specifically extremely hard for me. Hi! He has thoughts about the movies.
7th favorite. It's a 3-way tie between The Blackcoat's Daughter, The Lady from Shanghai, and Extraordinary. We've got like a slow burn gothic horror, a film noir, and kind of like a supernatural goofy comedy. It's hard to choose a favorite, but if I had to choose, I'd probably choose Extraordinary, just because it's so darn likable.
It is, it's so silly.
Yeah.
Getting hair all over the list. Our 6th favorite is a tie between 2. The Hidden Fortress came out in 1958, and Troop Zero, which I think came out this year, didn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it is
Or
2019 or 2020.
I'll admit, I was re-looking at this and completely shocked that Troop Zero wasn't in our top 2. I love this movie so much. I think I gave it a perfect score. I don't know how it's so low. I mean, they're all pretty high scores, but still, it's amazing, and I love it.
Our 5th favorite is a tie between Little Women, the 2019 version, and Heavy Trip, which is a movie probably not too many people have seen, but more should. A hilarious comedy about a band trying to get to a festival. It's not really fair to Heavy Trip that it's up against Little Women, because I think I love both of those movies, but I'd probably pick, if I had to pick a favorite between the two, it would be Little Women, just because it's a near perfect movie. It's hard to breathe fresh life into something that's been adapted so many times, and it was just an absolute revelation in every possible way. So I'll go with Little Women as my favorite between the two of them.
Our 4th favorite, tie between My Neighbor Totoro and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Why do I keep getting all the ones where I had trouble with? This darn subject matter of a parent having brain function trouble. Not really my favorite right now.
Gee, I wonder why.
I wonder why. My Neighbor Totoro was wonderful and so charming, and honestly made me very nervous because I thought it was going to be sad. Spoilers, it's not as sad as you're expecting.
third favorite, it's a tie between James versus his future self and Mirai. I would choose Mirai. Mirai is a beautiful 2D animated film about a jealous little brother he's just gotten a baby sister, and he's kind of struggling emotionally to come to terms with how that's going to change his life, what this means for his relationship with his parents. And it's just such an imaginative and touching look at that feeling that I think it cannot be overlooked.
Love me, I'm Winston.
Okay, so our second favorite. Oh, this is tough. Jojo Rabbit and Ladybird. What's the animals? Okay, so both are great. Ladybird, extremely relatable for me. But Jojo Rabbit's like a perfect movie. So Jojo Rabbit wins.
And now, our favorite film we watched in 2020. It is a three-way tie between The Haunting of Hill House, The Invisible Man, the 2020 remake, and Timmy Failure, Mistakes Were Made. Different movies, all very different movies. The Haunting of Hill House is a limited run series, and the other two are films, and I typically don't like TV shows. I really don't. That said, I'm going to pick The Haunting of Hill House because it was one of the most beautifully crafted, visually, emotionally, narrative-wise dramas that blended the horrors of familial relationships with real supernatural horrors in a way that strengthened the emotions and the story. It moved me, it frightened me, I absolutely loved every second of it, and I can't wait to watch it again and do some more crying. So,
I would pick that one as well.
10th least favorite film we watched in 2020, Murders in the Zoo. Based on the title, you would anticipate this to be a crazy movie filled with murder and zoo animals. And it has those things, just not as many as it should. A bit of a disappointing movie, wasn't a great watch, we'll leave it at that.
9th least favorite, Revenge of the Creature. Here's the thing, I don't even remember what this was. Is this related to Black Lagoon?
Yeah, I think it's either the second or the third creature of the Black Lagoon. Well, because we did not like the creature from the Black Lagoon or any of its sequels.
I thought the first one was fine.
I did not. I thought it was worse than fine. But yeah, apparently we didn't like this one either. 8th least favorite. And it's a three-way tie of films I think are beloved in different circles, so please don't be mad, but we really didn't like these movies. The Innocents from 1961, Pretentious Hogwash, The Witches, not the remake with Anne Hathaway, but the original with Angelica Houston, Mediocre Story, Not Charming, Cool moments, cool practical effects, but ultimately doesn't come together. And Life Force from 1985.
Should have been fantastic.
Space vampires? Great idea. Unfortunately, it's just kind of skeevy and exploitative without any kind of real character or narrative payoff to back that up. So I think all three of these I recognize are of a decent to high quality, but they just did not work for me.
7th least favorite, The House is October Built, The Mad Ghoul, and The Mummy. The Mummy from 1959 and The Mad Ghoul is from 43. My thing with both The Mummy and The Mad Ghoul is that they left a lot to be desired, but there were some things about it that I liked, and I wanted more, and I didn't get more.
Our 6th least favorite film we watched in 2020 was Train to Busan Peninsula. I'm not going to waste any more breath on this stinker. We recorded an entire knee-jerk episode dedicated to this movie, so just type into YouTube, knee-jerk, Train to Busan Peninsula, Hungry Creature Productions. It's going to pop up. You'll recognize our cheesy logo. Watch that. Was bad.
Oh, it was bad. Oh, here we go. Our 5th least favorite was Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire.
I don't remember this one at all.
We went through a bit of a phase where we watched every Scooby-Doo movie we could find at that moment. Some are good, sort of, and some are horrible. This is one of those.
Our 4th least favorite film we watched this year was a tie. between Seoul Station and Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins. I think Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins is one of the live-action ones. Not the ones with the brand name actors you recognize, but the ones with the non-brand name actors you don't recognize. And that one was pretty bad. Pretty bad. And Seoul Station, which is the prequel to Train to Busan, turns out we really don't like anything having to do with Train to Busan except Train to Busan, the one movie. Anything surrounding it, cut, toss.
Anyway, our third least favorite, Legend.
If you want to know our thoughts on this movie, check out our Ridiculous Reviews episode in which we cover Legend. We have many thoughts on it.
That's true. The actress from Ferris Bueller has great hair. That's the best thought in that movie.
And unfortunately, it's not enough to save the movie. Our second least favorite film we watched in 2020 is a tie between Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo and Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King.
That's the musical.
I remember that one because it was so bad it has burned itself into my brain. It's a musical and it doesn't feature most of the Scooby Gang. Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo I remember hating, but I also don't remember anything about it. So I'm gonna say Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King was my least favorite among the two, simply because it didn't need to be a musical, it didn't need to be so bad, the bar is already really low for Scooby-Doo movies, you just have to hit the main Scooby-Doo beats and the fans will be happy. You've got to work real hard to be this bad. And they did, so congrats.
So, the worst film that we watched in 2020, Mac and Me.
Now we kind of knew this was going to be bad.
Yes.
But it didn't prepare us for how bad it was.
No.
I think sometimes when we watch a bad movie, it's enjoyable. It's like, wow, look at how bad this is. Isn't that hilarious? I did not have that experience with this film.
Yeah, it's just basically one big, long McDonald's ad that doesn't have that so bad it's good quality nearly enough. And it's just...
It's a slog. It makes you feel dirty for watching it. It's a commercial draped in the dead skin of E.T.'s slain corpse.
Yeah, and it's like, it's trying to be E.T. But like E.T., okay, great movie. Alien is cool, but he's still creepy looking, right?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mac and Me Alien, they somehow were able to make it creepier.
Yes. And not like ugly cute like E.T., just
Yeah.
like ugly.
Ugly.
So anyway, what kinds of movies did you watch during your pandemic year of wonder? Let us know in the comments. What movies do you think we should see in 2021? Is it going to be any different? Is it going to be just as bad? Probably both. Anyway, have a happy new year and get vaccinated.
True.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked what you saw, give us a like. If you didn't, don't. If you want to see some of the episodes we've made in the past, check out the playlist tab on our YouTube channel page.
It's also all organized on our website.
On that website, use the contact form to sign up for our free electronic monthly magazine.
It's packed with behind-the-scenes breakdowns, channel data, polls, and even discounts on our boutique.